Version 1 is done. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is B Crow from X Producer B. Today we're going to talk about the Akai MPC Studio Mark II. We're going to look at this device with Ableton Live. I got version 1 of the script completely done. And so I'm going to introduce you to this script. We're going to talk about installing the script today. We're going to look at how it works and functions with Ableton Live. And don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel to help the channel out, especially if this is going to help your workflow out. So I'll put everything out in here today, but without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is, of course, make sure the device is on and that it's plugged in, and you want to browse to the GitHub repository. I'll put the link in the description section, but in the repository, let's open up the documentation because I'm going to walk you through it. Documentation is here in the repository. You just click on the documentation, and we're going to just walk through this documentation step by step. Go down to installation, and it's going to tell you what to do. The first step is to download the latest release script from the GitHub repository. And the latest release is what you want. This is a feature release. So I'm just going to click on MPC Studio MK2 zip. All right, I just want to put it into my downloads folder. That's fine. All right, and from there, I want to open that up and I want to extract that. And the location that I want to extract that, I'm on a Windows computer here, but this works as well as Mac. You want to go into your users, documents, of course, Ableton user library, remote scripts. Okay, if you're on a Mac, it's going to be under music, of course, your home folder, music, Ableton user library, remote scripts. But I'm on Windows, so I'm going to do it in the user library. I'm using WinRAR here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extract it. Then I'm going to go to my documents, Ableton user library, remote scripts. And from here, I'm just going to click create a new folder. What it's going to do is going to create a folder with the name of this zip file. That's exactly almost what I want. I want to remove the parentheses if it gives you that. All right. This is the name that you want right there, listed on the screen. Just going to extract it there. And there it is. It has done that work. I'm going to close this out. Of course, now we've seen the documentation. It tells you what this directory structure should look like. Ableton user libraries. This name right here is important because this is how Ableton is going to list this in the control surfaces preferences section. So you want to make sure that this name is like this. It's going to remove the underscores and give you a space. That's why that is there. Okay. So now that I have that loaded up, after extracting it, we want to open up Ableton Live. Mine's already recognized because I had this plugged in before, but I'll go into it with you. We'll go to preferences and you're going to want to go to MIDI, and you can see that the script is selected right there, MPC Studio MK2. You want to select that. And then for your input and output ports, you're going to select the MPC Studio MK2 public, okay, in and out. All right. And that's going to light this device up like you see it right here. And for the MIDI ports, in the documentation, it says that we want to have track sync and remote enabled for both. So mine track sync and remote is enabled for the in on this one and for the out on this one. Note, if you plug the MPC Studio 2 in, you'll get 2 ports. The private port is only used when it's going to the MPC software. That's what I found. So you don't want to enable that one because it's not going to work. All right. After that, the device is installed. Now I can use the device. I can operate it. I can go all around. I can go to different pad modes. And so it all works pretty seamlessly there. And so I think this is a huge win. Now just to do a brief overview of how the device works, we'll talk about it very briefly here. All right, so we're in Ableton Live. We got our controller and script installed. We can verify that just by going to user library here, MIDI remote scripts, and you can see that the controller is installed over here. All right, so what we want to do now, let's talk about just the basic functions. By default, the device has four pad modes, and the first pad mode here, let me see if I can blow it up. The first pad mode is session. So this gives you control over the Ableton session. The second pad mode is notes. Okay, so this is going to be your notes or your drum racks. This will change depending on which track you have selected. The third is a channel strip mode, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. The fourth is it's a momentary switch. You see it kind of go. It's a stop clip, so these correspond to each channel 1, 2, 3, 4, or wherever your session is selected. It will stop all the clips for that channel. So I think it's pretty cool and pretty amazing. Okay, so just so let's go through it. If we go to, let's load up a drum rack first. Just one of my default kits here. There we go. So here we are. We have the drum kit. Right now I'm in mode number 1. If I click the mode number 2, it's going to go to my drum pad. Now I can play these samples. Okay, and so you can see I'm able to play everything, which is good. If I go back to session, I can record. A couple of things I want to point out about this mode. In this version, I was able to get note repeat working, so pretty cool. Check it out. If you go into note repeat, if you press it, it will enable note repeat, and you can see the LED light up here. The touch strip will now control the note repeat divisions. Okay, so if I go right now, I'm at 120 BPM. So if I play, okay, and it is velocity sensitive. If you hold it down harder, it'll go harder. And so this is all happening in Ableton. I figured out that feature. And if I scroll, I can change it. All right. If I turn note repeat off, it goes off, which is huge. All right. So let's just go ahead and make something from scratch. And I'm not promising it's going to be the best beat in the world, but here we go. Just want to show you the use of the device. So we're going to turn input quantize on, just to check in to make sure it's on 16th notes. All right. I'm going to do my tap tempo. Let me change my cue out. There we go. All right, let's see. All right, I want to record that. So I just go to session mode here. I'll tap the first clip and it's going to record. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's my first. Let's put it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Now let's do it. Cool. Turn on note repeat. All right, turn note repeat off. Let's go. Cool. What else? All right. Now what if I go back to session mode, you can see my pad is green and it's playing. All right, if I want to duplicate this right here, Maybe I want to double the length of it. I can hold down pad mute, and it should double the length. So now I've got a 4-bar loop instead of a 2-bar loop. All right. There we go. Something to throw in there. Let's put it. There we go. All right, so let's throw an instrument in there. Let's press mode. Get that? I get a compressor. Threshold down. Alright, if I want to EQ, I just go to mode. I tap that and I get an EQ3. Throw some effects on it. There we go. Valhalla. Alright, now let's say I want to create a version of it. I can go back here, and if I want to, maybe copy this down. It duplicates the clip. Alright. Scroll over and duplicate that. Now if I want to launch that scene, I hold down Shift, and it'll launch a different scene. See, I take the 808 out. Let me name these tracks, unless I forget what they are. Let's bring the rest of it back in. Go to here, Shift, Scene Launch 1. It's pretty cool. All right, there you have it. MPC Studio MK2 working fully with Ableton Live. I'll make some more videos going over each of the pad modes. They'll be shorter videos. We'll go over all of the pad modes. We'll go over the navigation features. We'll go over the transport modes, and then so you'll be able to use this script to however you like it.